Good evening or good afternoon, should I say, everyone. This is Kimberly McKinney, and I'm so excited to come to you today on this thriving Take Profit Tuesdays. Guys, I just wanted to go ahead and get started and get right on in with what's happening in the news on today. As you know, that everything that I titled today is titled "All Markets Are Down." And we just want to just talk with you a little bit about, every market that we see is down. There's a lot of things happening with all the governments as it relates to the state of, interest rates, along with some other things. But this is also an opportunity for you as a person, for you as an individual to really do your research, find areas where you can invest that is going to give you a return on your investment. And honestly, although the markets are down, in my honest opinion, this is the prime time where you should be investing and buying. Because anytime a market is low or a market is down, it is going to do a correction and it's don't going to turn around and come back around. So I do encourage you, individuals, or those individuals who have not invested or have not bought any Bitcoin. If you think Bitcoin is a hoax, you'll be sadly mistaken. This is just another opportunity for you to actual access markets that you're not used to accessing. See, the way that you access your markets is the fact that your money is tied up in the market. So that could be whether it's tied up in the 401k. It could be whether it's tied up in mutual stocks, funds, things along that lines of investment. But I encourage each person that is watching this live to really do some due digging, because when the market is bearish like this is the prime time to get inside of the market. And that means that it is including cryptocurrency, that is including Bitcoin, that is including the foreign exchange market. But it also allows you to become a part of something that allows you to take advantage of US 30, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's read, because today there was some news that came out about 8:30 this morning. Right now, the feds are really trying to decide how they want to hike up, or what they want to do with interest rates, ladies and gentlemen. And what that really means to you as the individual. So let's read this article, because this came out earlier, maybe about 2 hours ago, that this morning that all eyes were on the PPI print this morning, as it offered one last inflation data point for the Fed to use when determining whether it should hike rates by 50 basis BPS or 75 BPS, which is, I think, basis points. However, the results of the print didn't provide the markets with any new clues to help decide which it will be. US in May, the PPI was 10.8%, and that's year over year, a tick under expectations and unchanged from April's print. In addition, the core PPI for May came in lower than consensus at 8.3 year over year versus 8.6 year over year expected, and 8.8 year over year in April. So the core measure, which excludes food and energy, shows that although the 10.8 headline print is high, much of the PPI inflation is from the core. So it says that the USD JPY has been on a mission since the beginning of June to take out the 135 level, and yesterday price reached at 135.119. So if you're not into foreign exchange, you probably would not know what this means. So The pair had been in an uptrend since early March, when it turned higher and reached a near term high of 130.81 on May 19th. So USD JPY then pulled back in a descending wedge formation and held about the 50-day moving average near 126 2031. So basically what they're saying is, in Forex land, the price point of this particular currency pair, at the beginning of June, it was 135. It reached a high of 135.19, but it has been staying on an average of 126.31. So they're saying at the end of May, the pair broke out of a descending wedge pattern and continued on its way higher to 135.19 yesterday, taking out multiple Fibonacci levels and horizontal resistance levels along the way. The pair is trading near its highest level since 1998. Wow. So they're saying that USD JPY, the highest that its price point has been at 135 since 1998. So that's quite a bit of a gap, a long time, over 20 years, that USD JPY has been at this particular level. So what does this mean, for you guys when they're talking about the rising levels of the interest rates, how that's going to affect your pockets? How is it going to affect your pockets? Many people right now are getting hit hard with some of the spikes in everyday transactions. It's hitting a lot of pockets, and it's causing a lot of people to be concerned. But what I can say is, the time is now for people to really research, really sacrifice learning how to make money inside of these markets. Sacrifice being able to leverage making money in these markets. Let me stop sharing this. Sacrifice that. Sacrifice, because whether you know it or not, these gaps are widening, whether you know it or not. We complain about paying hundreds of dollars in gas on a daily basis, but what if you were able to gain that $100 back in a single day? What if you're able to make that as a wash, break even, and even take home some profits? Gas, for most people, if you're filling up your tank, maybe take 21 gallons just to fill your tank up. That's for some, that's over $100, depending upon what grade of gas that you get. But if you had the opportunity to really recalculate that money back, what would you do it? Would you do it? It's going to take money to make money, y'all. And it is what it is. It's going to take money to make money. And at this point in this stage in our lives, most people, we need money. We need money for survival. It's really tight, like it's pinching pockets, and it's really tight on people's pockets. Although you still see people shopping, you still see them going to the mall, you still see them doing different things, but just know that the money that they would normally have, you're losing at least half of what you may spend, because it's been calculated and added into what we now call as inflation and hyperinflation. So that is interesting with the PPI, with those scores, or with those that what that news is going to be. I encourage you to really watch it, watch the PPI, because tomorrow there's going to be an announcement. What they're gonna how they're gonna do the hike, if they do the hike in interest rates. There's going to be some news that's going to come out tomorrow. So I encourage you guys, I encourage everybody that's watching this, stay on the lookout for that news to see what's really going to happen if they were to increase those interest rates, and where is it going to affect, most people. How is it going to affect most people? So with that being said, that article can be found on Forex Factory .com. You can look it up under the news, and that way it'll tell you every day or each day what kind of news is getting ready to come out, and how you can just compare it to how the markets are moving. Because a lot of times when there's getting ready to be news out, there's going to be spikes in the market. So you might see the market spike up or down. It just really depends on the news. And a lot of times most news is going to carry, what the history of what the rest of the day is going to look like in the market. So let's keep an eye out on tomorrow, and what's going to come out in the news on tomorrow. Okay. All markets are down. That's Bitcoin, that's stocks, that's futures, that's everything. Choose your investments wisely, but also be able to know that you can leverage what you have. So you don't have to fall prey and allow your money to fall prey by it being tied into the markets. Guys, you can definitely leverage it out to far exceed what you have physically, like your 401k. You can far exceed your 401k on this side by leveraging those markets. Why would you not market something not leverage something that your money is being used up in anyway? Learn how to leverage that. Okay. So for that reason and that purpose, make sure you stay close to the fire on what happens on tomorrow with the news as it relates to the PPI. And also, what was that? I think, the unemployment. I think there may be some news about unemployment as well, but that's usually with non-farm payment. That usually at the first weekend of each month, first Friday of each month. So with that being said, I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll be back at 5:00 p.m. We're going to be talking about the travel industry and how you can get your foot inside of the travel industry. I'm going to be breaking down some information for you to really think about and take into consideration. With all this being said, you really can find yourself outpacing what you see in the markets. You really can find yourself outpacing and becoming victorious in what you see in the markets. It's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some work, but nothing is going to come to you free, and nothing is going to come to you easily. You have to commit to learning a skill. You have to commit to learning it. Don't think that all this easy stuff is going to be here forever. Stuff like that don't always last forever. But if you learn a skill set that doesn't keep you in poverty, I think that will be a great choice for you to do, because economics and revenue is what people are going to need here coming shortly. And I want to be able to help and provide some type of assistance with that. So with that being said, I'll see you guys at 5:00.